Hello and welcome to Do It Yourself CIO podcast. Bit of programming note: if you were here last week for our show, thanks again for joining us, and hope you had a great holiday. However, there was no episode last week, so my apologies for that. Communication did not get out timely, but you did not miss anything. So another programming note, and this one kind of gets into the heart of our show today. So, on Tuesday, there was a letter that was released by a lot of AI experts outlining um, a few things about AI, and quite quite simply just about the threat of AI and kind of the risk that it imposes. Now, typically, a statement like that from a few business leaders and scientists isn't that big of a deal. However, for those of you that join this podcast for the first time, welcome. But one of the things that we do is on this podcast is kind of go over the news, primarily tech news from a small business lens. However, something like that really did hijack a lot of the news cycles for a lot of sources. And so every other article was basically about artificial intelligence. And this not something that we could really shy away from. Um, on the show, we do cover artificial intelligence articles, so it's not that we're anti AI, but the volume of it was just something that we heavily moderated. So things like CRM or new tools or things like that took priority over trendy clickbaity stuff like AI. Could not do that this week at all. So, this week we're going to meet this head on and we're going to talk about both the statement that was released on Tuesday and how it impacts small business owners. But first, we do have a few articles to go through, primarily in the cybersecurity realm. So, again, for our regulars, this is a little bit off the regular, but still, I promise it's good stuff. So, that being said, let's get started. So, in Ars Technica, there is an article that, for starters, they interview the author of a book, Fancy Bear Goes Fishing, and the book title, and I do definitely do have to share this. Um, this is basically the title, the title and like the graphics of the book. That is a cute teddy bear, and it has to do with fishing, and it's so cool. And I'm like, yes, this is cool. And yes, for those of you who don't know, I recently am a new father, so little baby boy, and yes, it's our first son, and our house is being invaded slowly but surely with teddy bears and dolls and things like that. So yeah, this teddy bear can come to our house anytime. I'm sure Sam will love it. But jokes aside, the article is reviewing a book and interviewing the author, Fancy Bear Goes Fishing, which is a computer science, cybersecurity, philosophical book, which comes few and far between. There really isn't a lot of those these days, but it's really coming down to, can you fix cybersecurity? Is this a problem or an issue that can actually be solved? And um the and I love the author's take on it because he really goes through a lot of, again, like philosophy and some, like, even going back to Alan Turing's days, one of the pioneers for the computer. And just when you think that there's a solution to every problem, you try to find solutions to a problem. But what happens when the solution is, like, the problem is the solution? And that's kind of where cybersecurity falls into, because at the end of the day, cybersecurity, when you break it down, is just a software app. Um, and software app is amoral to a point. So that software app can be used for good, it can be used for bad. But at the same time, at the end of the day, it is people that make software, it's people that makes applications, and so it's people that use them. So it goes into like as long as software exists, and as long as you software exists, software can be used for both good purposes and bad purposes. And solving cybersecurity with software doesn't work because at the end of the day, there'll always be a piece of software to counter basically good software was counter bad software and vice versa. So this is like a never ending loop. And so he definitely goes into this in a in more detail, and also outlines a lot of hacks that's happened like over the last couple of decades to illustrate this point, and it's actually really cool. And also definitely have to do this. Hold on a second. Look at the teddy bear. The teddy bear's cute. Yeah, he's cool. Okay, jokes aside, take a look at that. The links will be in the show notes. Definitely worth to read, and also look into getting that book. I am going to definitely find that book myself just to read that as well. So the next article from cybersecurity standpoint gets into small business cybersecurity stats. And so Small Business Trends is a blog that actually definitely has some tips for small businesses. Every so often it goes into tools and software, which is actually really cool. This week they had one where they just had a list of 40 plus stats, which was actually really cool. Um, but some of the key stats that they outlined were also cool, but also on the scary end. So 43 of cyber like 43% of cyber attacks are targeted at small and medium-sized businesses. And they roughly define this as employees with medium-sized between 100 and 500 employees, and small kind of less than 100. Um, this is a lot larger than I thought, but also when you talk to small businesses, they think that hackers and malware, things like that, aren't for them, when in fact they are. Like, there's a lot of that, while the majority of it isn't targeted to them, 40% is a large number. And um, the thing is, it's easy to think that you're not a like it's easy to think that you're not a target, and it's easy to think that I'm a small business, I don't have anything of value, but you have customer information. You have whatever your business is, you have information about not only your customers, but you even have a computer, and computers and hackers, one of the things that they can do is use your computer to launch other attacks. So, like, your system, your infrastructure has value. And so, not understanding that value puts you at risk for cyber attacks, because you don't think that it's worth protecting, when in fact it very much is. Um, Kind of gets to the second point. 75% of small and medium-sized businesses cannot operate with if it's hit with ransomware. This number is a lot larger than I thought, but we're no longer in the days when there's a old school cash register in the back, and everyone can hold cash. Like, those days are fewer, those types of businesses are fewer and far between. Um, if software doesn't operate, you can't process credit cards, you can't access customer information. For some of it, you can't even access your building because your alarm system's tied to the internet or some other silliness like that. And so ransomware is very much a game over scenario for a lot of businesses, and a lot of businesses are just simply not prepared for it. As shown in the last stat, 47% of businesses with fewer than 50 employees don't even have a dedicated budget for cybersecurity. And that's one of the things that do it yourself CIO is trying to help with. So, in general, small businesses can only allocate so much time and resources for the business. And technology tends to be one of those areas um, that gets left behind, especially cybersecurity. Again, they don't think that they're a threat in that case, but even with point of sale systems, with um, like customer resource management systems and other things, they find what they have, and if it works, great. But they don't. There's very little need to shop around for better deals. There's very little use and need for like seeing if this is actually a fit, is this actually worthwhile? And there's little time for a lot of small businesses to kind of explore those types of questions. So here at Do It Yourself CIO, we try to help ease that pain. And for when it comes to cybersecurity, it's articles like these and a few other videos that we're going to launch in the next few weeks that I hope that will help small businesses be able to at least equip themselves with basic knowledge on how to protect their business. So, definitely, like again, the links for these stats are in the show notes. There's definitely 47 of them, but like it's definitely worth a read for that, especially if you're looking to protect your business. So before we get on to the main event, I wanted to first off, thanks for joining us this week. Do It Yourself CIO is it's a project of our is a project that is designed to help small businesses find their footing in technology. And so we help them deal with strategy, we help review software, and we kind of help give small businesses equip small businesses with the tools and resources they need to make wise decisions about technology. That's usually not their first unless they're a technology business themselves or an e-commerce business where a lot of their bread and butter is, it's very much an afterthought. So trying to help bridge that gap. And our Ops Kit newsletter is the best way to see what has been going on with Do It Yourself CIO. It's our monthly newsletter outlining what we've done in the last month and what we plan on doing going for the next month. So this is the best way to kind of keep in touch. Links for this again will be in our show notes. We do this monthly. Actually, our first newsletter will be out this weekend. So keep an eye out for that if you have subscribed. And thank you again for subscribing to the newsletter. Also, definitely would be remiss to please like and subscribe this on the channel. So we are a new YouTube channel, so every subscription matters, every like matters. And if there is something that you want to discuss more, please let me know in the show notes. We definitely take a look at that just to kind of see where the industry is, where companies are, and whether or not we can how best we can help serve how best we can serve our community. So, that being said, AI is coming to kill us all. So, top AI scientists outlines the risks of extinction from AI, and there's a lot of I'm kind of upset at this. So, um, let me actually let me give a little bit of a background and some top scientists from a lot of research facilities and also from industry leaders like from Google, from Microsoft, and a few others basically release a one sentence statement. Mitigating the risk of extinction from AI should be a global priority alongside other societal scale risks such as pandemics and nuclear war. And this hijacked the news cycle for small business technology at large are weak. Um, kind of annoyed by this on so many levels. And so yeah, let me kind of gear up for this a little bit because mm, want to make sure, like heart to heart a little bit. So, artificial intelligence is a very powerful tool, granted. And here at Do It Yourself CIO, we have explored using AI for various reasons to help make videos faster, to help with editing, to help with capturing videos and explore digital art and things like that. And all of that technology is cool. However, when you peel back the onion of what AI is, there's a lot of data and in order for this to work, there's a lot of training and involved and a lot of data that these systems have used. And a lot of it has run roughshod over a lot of norms that we have taken for granted, honestly, between books and artwork and other people's content that has now been sliced and diced and then used for this grand artificial intelligence machine, like ChatGPT, but there are others as well. And we are still trying to figure out what that looks like. We are trying to figure out how to actually, as a society, like, what do we do with this? And the existential threat honestly is real, but this kind of feeds into the Terminator Skynet type scenario where artificial intelligence is already doing a lot of harm. We already have biases using data where face recognition can't tell really can't tell the difference between races, where chatbots on their own accord will get extremely racist and extremely sexist and abusive very quickly. And the next generation of chatbots from like ChatGPT hasn't really done that yet, but simultaneously it's a black box. So we really don't know what a lot of this is. And AI combined with something like a social media platform like a Twitter, like a YouTube, like whatever, um, it's easy to create videos. It's easy to create content. It's easy to impersonate people and to make it seem legitimate. And it's easy to spread information, both true and false, um, at a rate that we have never really seen before. At the end of the day, artificial intelligence is a tool that has the ability to turn the work of one person to dozens of people. And just that fact alone is a great reason. And this is where small businesses is actually have a unique role to play in this because I really do think that small and medium-sized businesses, all businesses honestly, but especially small and medium-sized businesses have the ability to very much shape the direction of where this goes because this is a tool that can easily help make your business grow. And for businesses that are are very much that are very much mission driven, trying to make the world a better place and trying to deliver a message and things like that. We have an opportunity to very much use tools like these to like punch well above our weight. Simultaneously, um, these tools in the wrong hands can also punch beyond their weight. And I think last week I mentioned an article that it's easier for scammers to scam people, and that's going to be a real thing. And so, where this lands, I have absolutely no clue. But one thing that do it yourself CIO is definitely going to help with is to help small businesses navigate the waters on how artificial intelligence can actually help them. So definitely look at your businesses, and this will affect all businesses, whether you're a traditional brick and mortar shop or an e-commerce shop or like digital producer like myself. This will affect everyone, and so understanding where you fit into this ecosystem will go a long way to like being able to come up with with a functional plan to like use AI to help your business, to help it grow, to help save money, to help advance whatever you want to do faster than what you were previously able to. And so again, we have the ability as small businesses to help shape that conversation, but one, that window will eventually close, just like most technology. Like laws will eventually be written, like definitely norms will be established. And the thing is, we are helping to set those norms. And so, like, I definitely pray that we set these norms responsibly and definitely will advocate for that. But again, we kind of sit, we kind of are in that this we're in that zone right now, and we're that's kind of the like that is where we are finding ourselves. And so definitely want to help. It sounds so weird, but help humanity, but honestly just help each other try to do right by each other. And so off the soapbox again. Do it yourself CIO definitely helps small businesses with their technology and things like that. So this is just kind of par for the course on the things that we are trying to do. So that being said, I that is it for this week. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you again next week, where hopefully the news cycle will not get hijacked by artificial intelligence news again. But till then, take care.